I mean, I cannot speak for Lars, but I would say that there was like a natural connection between Lars and me. We're coming from like two very different worlds in a way, you know, Buenos Aires para el mundo, Lars, very German European.
Hi, Nahuel. Thank
Hello.
you. How are you? Thank you so much for your time. A pleasure
Oh,
to
sure.
meet you.
Yeah,
Sim. De
nice to
Buenos
meet you.
Aires, de Buenos
Yeah,
Aires to the world, para el mundo.
we could say that.
We can say that, right? So, so let's talk about Persian lessons. And when you first read the script, what attracted you and what caught your attention?
So the first thing I felt when I read the script was that it wasn't a script, a film that I had done before. I was a little afraid of, you know, imagining myself into in a film like this. I would say that it was one of like the most like mainstream and classical structured, you know, scripts that I've read. But like really well written. I mean, let's say that if you look at my work, you could tell that I'm not really like doing like big popular mainstream films. You know, I try to escape cliches, and I'm always trying to attach myself to films that are maybe, I don't know, what I consider more personal or independent or experimental, or maybe if they're narrative, at least to have like a, I don't know, like a personal vision on the topic or on the characters. But this film was like, okay, this is a big film in terms of like structure, right? Like the tension and this suspense and all, you know, all the film is built around the tension that this character goes through. So I was like, wow, okay, I never played in a film like this. There was a possibility that Lars Eidinger, the German actor, would play Koch, who's an actor that I love so much, that I discovered in Hamlet in Schaubühne in Berlin a few years ago, that I had the chance to talk with too when we were going to the subway station. So I felt that some elements were really nice, and then I knew Vadim's work, and I felt that it was an interesting film to play in. And also the fact that I had to play fear, which is an energy that we're not really used to play unless you do like horror films or things like that, you know, when a character is always inhabited by this sort of fear of death and the fire to survive. I think it was like a very powerful and physical energy to explore, and how to fine tune that so that it wouldn't be like just a scared boy, right?
Yeah, I think you did a really good job. Like, there are some moments that I want to tell you, why you lying? And then there's some moments I want to hug you, like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like your face, your eyes, everything is so perfectly done. And
Thank you, Jana.
yes, it's amazing. Also, you mentioned Lars. How's work with him, and how did you guys create that connection? You know what I mean? Because at the same time, you guys are really close, but at the same time, you have the fear that you mentioned, and it's amazing what you guys did.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's some things you cannot really work or, you know, prepare. Some things are like, I think that, I mean, I cannot speak for Lars, but I would say that there was like a natural connection between Lars and me. We're coming from like two very different worlds in a way, you know, Buenos Aires para el mundo, Lars, very German European, but also with a side that's like a queer side and a very creative, funky side that Lars has. So we had like a lot of like common, you know, places to connect to, and at the same time, this distance of Latin American European. I don't know. I always believe that it's a reality or biography in a way, it leaks into fiction, right? And when you can like use that as a, you know, as a tool to like, you know, create more powerful and deep performances, I think that you always have to, in a way, take advantage of that. And then it was a very theatrical and precise work that we did with Vadim. You know, we were always like meeting each other in this like 3 meter by 3 meter space, which was his office, and then the kitchen, and that was like the theater in a way, where we were playing in. And in a way, if you think about the characters, I mean, my character is also playing theater in a way, right? He's playing a character all the time, and he cannot like stop believing in what he's creating. It's like a second after second tension. So I think that we all knew that this was like a theater within a theater in a way, right? Even though we were telling a real, true story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like thinking that we think a lot about how to play. Some things are more like, in the physical or emotional, layer of, connectedness between humans. And I think that with Lars and Vadim, we made a nice triangle.
Yeah, it was organic. It was like
It was
very,
very organic. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And Lars is
Also,
very theatrical too.
yeah,
I mean, not also not. I'm not saying that he's theatrical when he plays, but he has a very sensitive way of understanding the scene. And I think that
yeah,
this film really needed that, and that's also why I wanted to do the film.
yeah. No, it's amazing. Also, your character creates like a new dictionary. How was that for you? Like, I was asking Vadim how did he create that, but how is it for you from the point of view of an actor, like to
Yeah.
to be playing that, like playing around with those words?
Yeah. Well, that we had a linguist that was working with us. So he created like a full dictionary, as you're saying, with verbs, with ways of conjugate, and like there was a full logic within that fake language. And at one point throughout the shoot, I remember that we could like create some phrases in this fake language that was created for the film. So the language sort of started living in us during the shoot. I mean, I love languages, I love languages also as a tool to reach the otherness in the broad sense of the word. So for me it was like, okay, one more language, come on. I'm speaking in the film, I'm speaking in French, playing a Belgian, speaking German, and then a fake Farsi. So I'm like, yeah, one more, come on, let's do it. For me it's just like costumes, that you keep adding to your performance. And for me that's very liberating in a way. I don't take languages or sounds or strange sounds that I never pronounced as an obstacle. And so it's always like something I can use for, I don't know how to say it, to like dig deeper into my performance.
Yeah, I think languages help to understand another culture, another like everything around you. I think it's way different. I love that.
And also when you play, at least what happens to me is that when I don't play in Spanish, there's like less of a historical bond to that language, so my body's like, in a way, it's more available to channel and to be inhabited by new emotions and logics that are maybe not related to my bond to the Spanish, that I always spoke when I was a kid. So that's why I think it's liberating. Sometimes saying like hard, or I would say like tough sentences like I love you, I miss you, or like all those big words that are hard to pronounce maybe in our own language. When you speak a different language, there's like a door that opens up and allows you to like convey emotions that maybe in your language you wouldn't be able to say.
That's amazing. That's
as
really
honestly
cool.
what I mean?
And I want to ask you, like, what was your like biggest challenge in this character in particular?
Like the fine-tuning of fear was a big challenge, I would say, because I didn't want to like I was trying to like not avoid being like monolithical or monotone. Okay, he's afraid, so always trying to find the gaps and the cracks in the scene so that I could like maybe show the audience that I was going through like a very tough, tragic emotion experience, but at the same time being able to be the best actor ever, not me but Gilles. So this idea of like playing a character that plays was also very challenging and at the same time very liberating, because when you don't have to defend one character as a whole, but you're defending a character that also plays characters, it's like this sort of a mamushka thing is makes the work even deeper. And then, I mean, we were shooting like in the forest, like with 15 degrees Celsius minus, so negative. So everything was like, I mean, it was a tough shoot. We discovered like halfway through the shoot that the place where we were shooting had been used by like Stalin back in in history for like sort of I don't know if it was a concentration camp or something was. So the whole atmosphere of the place that we were working and spending a lot of hours every day sort of got denser and denser. But I love challenges, you know what I mean? That's why I think I play, because I think that playing for me it's more about living experiences than representing characters or reproducing gestures or emotions that I think for me it's also about like letting yourself go and be impregnated by by stories. So I like challenges, but I don't know. I never see films. I mean, if you tell me like what was the like toughest moment throughout the shoot, I don't know. I don't think I can name you one.
Yeah.
I could tell you that going in like the frozen water was tough. Yeah, but I mean, you just see that in the film when you see it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's what you also get as inspiration for your character, right? It's a very physical tour de force what Gilles goes through. So without trying to, of course, we are so far away from that experience, that real story, but I think that elements that can bring you closer to like the physicality of a person that may have gone through that, even though of course it's unparalleled and I cannot compare, because I mean I'm a son of democracy in a way, but I think it's also nice as an actor to like allow your body to experience little things, right? Like cold and things.
It's amazing.
Don't think that everything is mental and intellectual. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course. Nahuel, this is fantastic, brilliant performance, and I love it. Cannot wait for your next project, and I just want to thank you so much for your time. Muchas gracias, a lot of success, and keep doing it.
Yeah, I've got some films coming up. I hope that we can go to the States to show them too.
Yes, I hope so too.
Maybe we can make this gap smaller,
yes,
right? Between like foreign films in the States, right?
Exactly.
We're getting there.
That. Thank you so much.
Spread the word. Thank you. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.